Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, we are back now after the technical difficulties. It appears that Steam is having some issues today. Even messages don't seem to be going through. However, we've managed to get the lobby back together again. The drivers do have the opportunity to go out again, although I do want to see if you have changed your predictions, Amkasa. What have you got? Have I not undeafened? Amkasa?
Hello.
There he is. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Did you have your mic muted?
Yeah, I did.
At least it's not my fault this time.
I thought we were doing a full intro video, so you caught me out. So I started the intro video at the right time.
Oh. I see.
Because I thought we'd do that again, because now it looks a bit odd when you put on highlights without the intro.
Well, I mean, they could just snip it.
Yeah, but that's effort, isn't it?
For them. we're fine.
Yeah, right. Well, I like to upload one to YouTube. But yeah.
Yeah, fair play.
Anyway, well, it's starting to get busy on track. All the hards are coming out, actually.
And we have two more drivers.
We do. Oh, Smeege.
Ooh. Smeege and Return are here. Oh, is it Copy? I think Copy was the one who wasn't here before.
Boltdown was here. He was here, but disconnected.
Yeah. So what's your top 3 prediction then after... I know you chucked it out earlier, but obviously we've got different drivers as well. Additional drivers, should I say. So what's your top 3 for this one?
Yeah, I think you can't really change. You're driving an absolute laugh if you think you're going to be changing. Martin G will take pole. Well, take the best of the medium compound. Obviously, if someone goes soft, they might beat him. But it won't be... Oh, that's
the Torosso? That's not sloppy. Return? Yeah, it was Return.
No, he returned to the gravel pit there, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, I think Martin G has got this covered. The only person that can beat him is someone who does a soft compound, who we kind of ignore nowadays.
Yeah.
P2. Who did I go for? I went for Enter Turn, then Lemon, didn't I?
I think you did. I mean, Martin G is fast, so I'm definitely putting him on top spot. There's no one else in here that I think is going to be able to compete with him. Hypers would be the only person I would have really said that had an opportunity to beat him, but even then, if Hypers was here, I would have said 1-2 Martin G, Hypers P2. But obviously he's not here, so it's almost a guarantee for me to go Martin G P1. I think Zerd has got the potential to be P2, but I don't know, Nickturn is rapid, so I'm going to go Martin G, Nickturn, and then Zerd.
Well, we'll find out. Qualifying has just started with 15 and 20 left. As the first 2 people are starting their flying laps, Blackbird's one of the first men to start. And so far, so good. Oh, I just jinxed it, didn't I? But he wasn't in the race anyway, so that's no issue.
No, he wasn't. You're okay. He joined after we'd already started. So I think we've not lost anyone yet. Oh, Smeege, I almost lost it there, just going through that middle chicane. He's kept it all together, still going strong on his hot lap. We do need to do another hot lap rundown due to the fact that you got cut off by me very rudely. I can only apologise. But who do you want to go on board with? I mean, well, Bird is coming up. We should do Bird, I think.
I was just looking at mine. He's had to actually back out of his lap already, so that's not the best start for him. He'll get going again in a moment. Yeah, Bird is still quite far away.
Well, let's go with Martin G then, because he's only a couple of corners away from restarting his lap. I think he's going to be the man to watch anyway.
Yep, apologies, just restarting my controller. It's been a bit sluggish on moving today, a bit like me driving. Okay, let's go on board with my G's. Comes down the home straight down towards turn 1. A little bit downhill into this one, and this is where you can see the majority action, using as much of the track as possible. Throws it into turn 1, snakes round into turn 2. Car's getting in his way ahead. Hope that won't cause a problem. To go through the long right-hander at turn 3. Don't run too wide, and he hasn't. But keep it on the left. He's coming up to turn 4. This can be an overtaking opportunity if you fancy a dive down the inside. Opens up beautifully. Get back over to the right hand side as you go through tight turn 5, and then once again get that power down as you go down and then up through the little kink of turn 6 into 7 and 8, and this is where we're going to see people crash. Turn 8, that little curve on the inside can destabilize you a little bit. Turn 9 again, and somewhere else where you might see a few people spin. CRS down the straight. Detection point is just before turn 9. Hard braking. You won't see many overtakes here because the home straight is so powerful. Turn 11 coming up. This one you can just lose it quite easy. I've seen it happen to some of the best drivers if they're not paying too much attention. I've lost my voice there. Turn 12 down into turn 13 tight corner, then into the chicane of 14 and 15, jumping over those curves. Don't take too much. and then get that power down as you go through a long right-hander into the DRS rate. Station point just after turn 15 at the pit entry, and there is an 18.9 on the hard tyres.
Yeah, much faster than he did earlier, but then he did actually have 2 laps on this time rather than the last time. So his tyres will be a little bit warmer. Let's have a look around the field as Lemon is crawling up to restart slowly. Has he got... I can't tell if he's got a rev bug. Yeah, he does. Oh, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Okay, good. I like that. I'm glad we haven't got a rev limiter bug. So Lemon is now unleashed. Let's have a look where Smeege is. He's done 2 laps and invalidated both of them. So not really good looking for Smeege. I saw him earlier just off the road completely, getting out of the way, doing the right thing. But do you think Smeege has got potential to be up there in the top 5 today?
I don't think I've even seen Smeege race in this game as yet, in all honesty. He's not a slow driver by any means, so it should be quite interesting to see, but he's just doesn't look comfortable out there today. Maybe it's the hard tyres, maybe he's just got the wrong setup on that car, just needs a little bit more back end on it. It just keeps stepping out on him, and if it steps out of him at the wrong time, he'll be stepping out of the car because he's put it in the wall.
Yeah. And we don't want that at all. Okay, so currently as it stands, Martin G is P1, Flying Finn P2. Gap between them is literally 800ths of a second, and then only 700ths of a second separating him from Rayner. So VSR boys are looking pretty decent. The third one, though, is at the bottom of the minute, but has not yet put a time in, so it's unfair to judge just yet. Did go out on the softs earlier, but wasn't quite in a position to be able to really deliver a time. And here comes Smeege, and finally, 3 times is definitely the lucky number, and he's done 1:19.341.
Yeah, he still did not look comfortable on that lap. I think it's either the setup's not quite working for him, or he's just unable to get the heat into those tyres. But you would have thought after 3 laps, you would have had heat in those tyres. Obviously, doing a slow lap means you have to get out of the way of other drivers, so you lose a bit of time. Boltzan, wow, where did that come from?
You have to be kidding me to put up a time like that. 1:18.750. Well played from him. 3 laps in again, though. 3 is definitely the magic number. We said it earlier. He's doing it again. 1:18.750. So now, Boltzan in a position where he might actually surprise all of us and put himself in a position we didn't expect.
Yeah, but Martin G is on another fly. Let's see this Delta. He's up by 4/10 already. He's still got 1 sec to go. I think this could be a new pole time, unless he makes any little mistakes in the last sector. You'll see the most of the mistakes is going to be on turn 16 in the final sector. It's just getting the power down. You have to be... don't want to be too slow on it, but you don't want to be too quick on it. It's so crucial. You can see during the race, so hard to time it perfectly, and he's done a decent job there, coming up to the line.
Oh.
But, yeah, he's just gone half a second faster on his previous best. These hard are getting better with age. They're like a fine wine. Getting better with age.
Yeah, they really are. So, Nick Turn is actually looking like he's about to prepare for a nice tow on Copy coming through the final bit. I mean, it's a very, very busy Sector 3 right now. You can see the final few corners, it's just got car after car after car. Boltzan getting out of the way. And Nick Turn is just ahead of Copy now. And they're basically the whole way down the home straight. And Nick Turn is going to be the slipstream buddy for Copy here. They do this quite regularly. We know these to be very good teammates, not just in this league, but in every league ever. And that's whenever they do it, they always get it perfect. And it's not quite gone as they intended this time. Copy was a little bit too slow to capitalize on the slipstream, so that's a few tenths that have just been wasted. But then again, we are still on the hard compound tires, and I think that's, yeah, you can see Nick Turn straight away out of the way, and now it's down to Copy.
That's quite interesting. Obviously, oh, this could be bad. Oh, that's close. I don't know if you're on board with Copy there, but Lemon was offline and Copy was just hanging it out. I thought that was going to be curtains for one of those. But Copy fortunately managed to bring it in. Hopefully that's not put him off a little bit, made him drop his time. I don't know if I saw him lift at all, but that's the type of situation. You got a slow car offline, just gets in your eye line, you think, I might hit him, but he didn't in the end.
No, still keeping it together. Copy is still composed as always. Definitely probably has got some brown stains on those boxes though, but he's holding it together and still pushing around the track relatively quickly. Keep an eye out for Copy throughout the rest of this lap. It's all down to this final chicane when it comes to the race, because if you don't get the final chicane correct, especially on the exit of it, you need to make sure you just slingshot out of it and go chasing after another driver down the home straight. We've seen many races here where it could go so terribly wrong if you don't. Bird, though, 118.085, and Copy does a 118.848.
Yeah, not surprised. Bird was obviously on the mediums. That's why he's gone up there. We've got 8 minutes left, so plenty of time for that one to be beaten. We'll see what tyres people are going to go for. At the moment, it's dry. It's a little overcast, but dry. Don't know the forecast for the race.
Nope.
As normal, unfortunately. So hopefully that won't make an effect. 8 and 10 is on a lap. Where's Copy? Is he ready in a position to give him a tow or anything?
I mean, you might give him a tow in the middle sector. He was nowhere near him on the home straight. Oh, big lock up there from Nickton. That's going to really cost his time. I think he might even back out of this lap, to be honest. Yeah, he's just sat there in gear 2. He's not pushing. He's angry. But that's fine. He's going to have to lick his wounds all the way throughout the rest of this track. Smeege on a net lap right now on the medium compound tyres. We do have a driver, which was Bird, who did it a fastest lap on the mediums. Everyone else has done it on the hards. And our man to keep an eye on is currently sat in the pits.
I'm keeping my eyes on Zerd at the moment. He's down in 12. Very out of place for him. Again, he is on the hards. He has done that magical 3 laps. So we'll see if he can get himself up there. He needs to get himself up there. There's no two ways about it. Yes, okay, he's going to come out on the mediums in a bit, but you need a decent starting point before you can really go for it. If he puts this up in the top 5 and then people crash out, he's going to benefit from it if he can't put together that good lap later on. So even if it is a banker, sometimes it is all you can do. We'll see.
Yeah, here he is now though, coming up to the line. It's not looking the fastest. He does improve. It's 118.928, so it's kind of what we're seeing at the beginning of the session from the other drivers. But I'm very interested for those of you that are in the chat to get your predictions in. Let's see what we can get for the 1, 2, and 3. We want to see what your options are. We have seen a prediction that Flying Finn might take pole today. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that one?
I think driving an absolute laugh again.
The
only way he's going to get it is putting softs on.
Yeah, I mean, Bird's decided he's chucked some softs on and he's sat in the pits as it stands. He's still got plenty of opportunity to change his mind if he wants to. We've still got a few minutes before we even reach that point. We're almost at my favourite time, but we're not going to call it out just yet until we can 100% confirm.
No, Zerd managed to put it up into P6. That's not too bad from him. He's definitely on the in. That's running low on fuel. So he'll bring this one into the pits and get it going again. Flying Finn is back out there on some rather worn hards. Is he back out or has he not been in yet? I think he's been in yet.
No, he's not been in at all, Flying Finn. He's, I just made a poem and I didn't even mean to. He's 118.389 on the hards, still stayed out from the very beginning. Will probably be coming in this lap. He's going to have to. He's got a flashing red fuel warning light, so if he doesn't get in, he's going to end up ruining his race, his qualifying session completely. Yet there he is in. So, just a little reminder of the predictions and the little rules we do, especially in the commentators when it comes to predictions. So, I've gone for Martin G and Nickton Zerd 1, 2, and 3. Now we are basing that on the taking softs out of the equation because softs is obviously a very easy sort of cheat way, if you like, to go into pole. So we're kind of taking that out a little bit. If everyone qualified on the same time, which we're going to say the mediums because ideally that's the strategy you want to go on. What would be your top 3? So, what was yours again, Amkasa?
Martin G, N-Turn, unfortunately, he hasn't got the time yet. And then Lemon. I'm not confident about Lemon being down in 7th, but we'll soon see.
Well, I mean, I'm looking better than you are, but only slightly. It's literally, we're talking 700ths of a second separating our 2 third place predictions. So, not looking particularly good, and it's looking likely that we may actually be eating our own words if Flying Finn has anything to say on it. Bullock's as well, he's another surprise pick. Didn't expect him to be up there given the situation, but again, we have to bear in mind that we've still got plenty of time. We are at the calm before the storm. We're just coming towards the end of it, but we're actually in a situation where Bullock's, who's done it on the medium, on the hard tyres, he's 118.750, 3/10 off of Martin G. Martin G's only just 200ths of a second behind Flying Finn. And like I said, that little tip-off I had earlier suggests he can do a 117.1, which Martin G, if he can replicate it here, that's looking dead set for a really solid P1.
But was that 17.1 on the softs?
That was on the mediums.
Really?
Yeah.
So from here, he's done that on the hards. So you reckon he's going to shave off 1.3 seconds. Let's say 1.2.
Yeah,
think,
I think he can easily do it. If I'm being truthfully honest, I mean, it's a tough one to pull off.
He
But
must be
he can.
absolutely sandbagging to achieve that. Well, he may be. We don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Bird is currently on the softs. That's interesting.
So, I mean, the thing you got to think about, though, was that Martin G chucked in a 1:18.4 when it was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes into the session, right? The track is at its coldest. It's not really in a position where you can really sort of blow it out of the water a little bit. And that to me, is kind of just a sort of signal to say, well, actually, you know, that's slow. It is slow if you think about it. Now that we're in a point where the track is going to be so evolved that it's going to feel brilliant, especially on a track that's got a lot of sunlight on it. The track temperature is going to be really high, the grip is going to be really, you know, solid, and you're on a medium tyre. It's like 1.2 seconds faster anyway. Bulgzan has taken pole position whilst I was talking. He's done a 1:18.043, which interestingly is only marginally ahead of Bird, who also did it on the medium compound tyres, and he's currently sat P2, and he did that about 2.5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think it felt like a bit longer than that, but we have 2 minutes left of said session, and they're just getting the final few drivers to come out of the pits. Let's just wait for Flying Finn and Bird. A few people on flying laps at the moment. I'm just on board with Astro Boys down in P12. See what he can achieve down there.
Yeah.
Kind of hoping he can improve on that.
Well, Astro Boys has actually had a pretty rough... Oh, he's
backed out. He's definitely having a rough day.
Out? Yeah, I mean, in general, he's had... Oh, he's lagging. That's what his problem is now. And this is exactly what I was about to mention. He's had a really rough season overall, to be honest, and not just in this league, in every league I've seen him in. He just seems to be having a no end of issues with, and it's not even his fault. He's having like network related issues or game freezes, game crashes, etc., etc., and it's kind of not really working out how he wanted to be. So now Martin G is about to start his hot lap, and we'll come back to him shortly because he is someone we're definitely keeping a very firm eye on. Zerd is coming up to the line now. He's just finishing the final corner. He's looking pretty solid. It's going to be a 1:8.17.7. So immediately Zerd smashes in some time, and it's really hopeful for my P1 prediction.
Yeah, the Ekne turn is coming up to the final chicane now. He is on a fly. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead. It's just going to be good and bad. It's not going to be great coming around this corner, but as soon as he gets around this, he'll get that slipstream. You see him chasing the back end there, a Bird.
Oh.
And he puts it P1 with pretty much a 17.6.5. Was that a car off track?
I don't think so. It looked like... I mean, Return has retired from the session. There is a car off track actually there. Oh, Hypers has finally joined. All right, interesting. So Hypers is not going to take part in the qualifying session. We'll start dead last, but he's still got an opportunity to pull it back in the race. It's going to be a hell of a drive, though, from last to first if he can pull it off. But all I need to bring the stars together is not for this to happen. Martin G, no... No, this can't happen. Martin G will not be improving. He's off the track and sat in a solid P9. Flying Finn is in P8 with Blackbird in P11, so he's also retired. He's not going to be able to improve. Rayner has also come across the line. He stays P3. Bullock's his teammate has gone P4. Zerd is P2 right now. Also not looking to improve. He's just cruising around. Where's Bird? He's also off the track. There's a Haas that's in the wall there. Which one is that? Is that Bird? That's not Bird. That's his teammate.
Bird's still okay. The other Bird.
The other Bird, yeah.
Copy's coming out to the final few corners. They don't think he's got the pace to spoil the party, but hopefully he can put it out there, join his teammate. Essentially on the second row, we're going to see in a moment he comes around the final corner.
Oh.
He's joined his second row. Great result from Copy. Bird's the only man that can spoil the party, unless Lemon's got something magical in his locker.
No.
That's Lemon stopping on the grid.
And that's it.
Bell.
It's all done. So Nick Turn takes pole position with Zerd in P2. I've been told he's got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with another car on track. Now, I don't know if that is for another... Zerd does, apparently.
Oh.
I didn't see it appear on my screen, but he does indeed have a penalty, I'm told. We'll see that in just a second when we get to the results screen, which is about to come up. Now, there it is. So, a Nixon is P1. Yeah, Zerd does have a 5-place grid penalty. Will drop down to P7 then as a result, promoting Copy up into P2. That's going to be the best result he's had, I think, the whole season, to be honest. But it's going to be the McLaren boys sitting pretty in 1 and 2. Rayner going to be sat behind him with Bulksan there chasing after him. Bird, then Smeege, Sloppy, then Flying Finn and Martin G. We didn't expect to be that far down, but they are. right down there in 9th and 10th. Astro Boy's in 11th, Lemon in 12th, Blackbird 13th, Return in 14th, and a newly joining Hypers who hasn't been able to take part in the qualifying session, but also, crucially, won't have a setup.
Didn't they fix that?
No, don't think so.
Thought they did. But the crucial part to look at is Martin G and Flying Finn. They may be starting down there on hard tyres, but they are incredibly old, hard tyres. Be interesting to see what they can do. They might have to pick quite early. They might have to go for a 2-stop on hards.
That would be awkward, wouldn't it, if they tried that? That would not be something you want to do. It's just a brutal situation nonetheless. Like we said, one-stop strategy is alpha here, mediums to hards, hards to mediums, whichever one you want to go for. But I think if you're going to start outside of the top 10, you definitely want to go hards to mediums, because honestly, the medium tyres on this track just make such a huge difference. You get a hell of a lot of pace out of them. You can really chase after other cars. But basically, the rule of thumb is very simple here. Absolutely do not touch the softs, because they are just not worth it. They disintegrate way too quickly, and you will find yourself, you'll be fine for like 2 or 3 laps, but after that, you're in big trouble. And here we are on the formation lap. So, Nick Turner is going to be leading this away, and Amkasa, I'm going to ask you, you've seen how qualifying went, you've seen some shock surprises, but what's your podium prediction for the end of this race?
Let's have a look at the tyres quickly. That's the first thing to look at. Hypers is starting hards. I mean, the obvious is to look at Martin G. He's got so much pace. What did you just cough? He's got so much pace that it's not going to be out of the realms of possibility for him to put it up there. But I think it's going to be so hard. P10, along with Flying Finn on old hard tyres. We're talking 6 or 7 lap old hards here. Are they going to have to do hard, medium, just to make it to the end?
I don't think. I mean, I don't think you need to. And providing you don't have any collisions on the track, hards to medium should be absolutely fine. You can push the hards pretty far here. Yeah, well,
that's the question. They've done qualifying laps on these. Flying Finn did what, 7, 8 laps on his?
Yeah, he did,
including 4 or 5 flyers. But I think it's going to be any turn to take the race win. I do. End of turn, Rayner. They're going to resume a battle of the ages. Then I'm going for the big shock. End of turn, Rayner. Hypers.
I had a feeling you was going to say Hypers. I'm going to be truthfully honest. I just kind of saw that coming.
Where he was going to go, didn't you?
For me, putting Hypers on P3 would only be if he has the ability to change his setup. If he's on the default setup, no, he's not getting P3 in my opinion. I'd be surprised if he gets any higher than sort of P4. So my prediction is going to be, I think Nick Turner will take it. I think Rain will take P2. I think Martin G will take P3 though, because he's in a position where he can easily do, you know, the hards to mediums combo, and he actually didn't put that many laps on his tyres. So, but anyway, it's time to put your money where your mouth is for whoever is a betting man, or we could just enjoy the race because the lights are on, and when they go out, we're going to be seeing which one of the McLarens is the first to the start line. I imagine the team orders will definitely be playing a factor here. You can already see there's a lot of scrapping going on further down the field as the Haas is trying to make his way through the field. Blackbird pushing up there. Another Haas trying to battle as well. That's Bird getting in between the 2 Renaults. Everything seems to be okay so far. No contact around. There's Mercedes. That's Lemon.
Lemon's gone. Just got his front end nudged ever so slightly. Unfortunately, he's put himself in the wall. I don't think he got any damage. Hopefully, for his sake, he's not got any damage. I'll have a quick look. He has escaped without damage. What's happened to Astros? He's dropping a couple of places as... So, returns off track. And he's frustrated and is just trying to crash out now. So that's 2 cars had a little spin. I think returns about to retire from the session.
About to return to the pits, isn't it, really? Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. Martin G's not made up any places so far. His rival, Flying Finn, has. He's up to 7th, so a decent start from him. And he's looking to make... He's up to 6th already. Oh, Bolton is dropping like a stone. He looked good in the qualifying, but... Yeah, he's been like a stone, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. I mean, we've got to keep an eye out for Smeege as well. Smeege and Blackbird are having a good scrap at the minute. Smeege just tried to send it a couple of times, but Blackbird has just kept his nerve, not really fallen prey to it, and he's just defending like a champ. Bird is also doing really well, trying to catch up to the back of Rayner. Rayner is doing a pretty solid job, not really pulled away too quickly, and There's no one running the soft tyres here, so there's no risk of worrying about the tyres just suddenly disintegrating. Sloppy McFloppy is catching up to the back of Martin G though, and it's starting to look like a good little battle going in towards turn 1. Hypers manages to slip down the inside there of Sloppy. Hyper's already on the back of Martin G, and now we're going to see two of the Titans going at it around the Spanish Grand Prix track. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can deliver.
Yeah, I was like how you say, Sloppy's closing up to Sebastian G. Nope, Hypers is in there now. He has got pace, and that is why I thought he was going to get to the top. I still do think he's going to get to the top. Having seen his teammate and return drop down, it's just made it a little bit easier. Master G not going as hard as he could. Again, something that made it a little bit easier for him. All the stars are aligning for Hypers. Let's just hope those stars don't turn into supernovas.
Yeah, that's definitely something you don't want. Lemon's had more issues, completely lost all of his front wing. He's very far behind and very slowly coming towards the pits. I'm not sure if he's just not happy. No, he's still on the track.
He's got revenue into bag as well, or is he just...
He's just revving it. Yeah. I think we're going to be seeing Lemon hit the wall.
Well, Ellington's about to lap him, so he needs to get right out of the way. Hopefully he's not going to cause any issues for these drivers. Everyone's streaming on past him. And he's doing the right thing at the moment. Just trying to keep out of the way. Now he is...
Smidge has gone off track. He's made a mistake going through 1 and 2, and that's now brought Martin G right into the back of him now. And I think Martin G's had his hand played for him. He's got no other choice but to attack this. Smidge is going to stay on the outside line. Martin G's not going to take an inside at all because he knows you need to get a good smooth run. Smidge made a mistake. This is Martin G's time to pounce. Needs to take the outside line because that's got nothing else to do. Smidge managed to hold it. Hyper's looking for an opportunity to get inside of it. Is now alongside of Martin G. This is going to be a rough battle now. As you can see, Hyper's got the inside line for this chicane. It's going to put him all the way into the gravel. Martin G loses that position, but he still holds on to his car. Loses another position there. Sloppy just slips on by. And now Martin G not having a particularly great race at the start of this. Needs to pick it up somehow, but Hyper's is looking fast.
Yeah, well, it's what you kind of expect, isn't it? Hyper's looking fast. If he wasn't looking fast, we'd wonder what was wrong with him. But he's now up to P10. He's taken Martin G, as we saw just there. A little bit of a nudge onto the gravel, maybe, but he was well ahead at that point, and it was down to Martin G to back out at that point. But N10 pushing fast lap after the fastest lap, and no one even coming close to him at the moment. Let's have a look at Zerd, Bird, and Rayno.
Hold that thought, because Hypers has made another position up. He's going down around the outside of Smidge into turn 1, and has already got the move done by the time they get to turn 2. Smidge is trying to keep on the back of it. Lemon is now finally retired from the session. Smidge is just looking really out of shape. His Hypers is just taking off. Ozone Sloppy McFloppy is catching up to the back of him. Smidge is just losing that car so much. And Sloppy's right on through.
Yeah, he's just not looking too comfortable today, Smidge. Hopefully he can get it sorted and get himself going up there. But the problem is the two drivers on his rear are not slow drivers. That's the problem. And I did just swap a position up front. I have. Yeah. Oh, it's laggy.
Yeah, Rain is lagging.
Lag battles.
But I think it's just Rainer that's lagging. I think Copy's fine, but Rainer is just rubber banding like crazy at the minute. So we also have to keep an eye out for Zerd and Bird. I know they rhyme, but they are definitely not going to be getting along together, as they're going to be absolutely battling right through the final sector. Bird needs to get a good exit out of this corner and just stick with the fact that he's going to be just on the limit of DRS. I don't think he got it. No, he didn't. So Zerd now is sizing up as Bird. He pulled over to the right side, just getting himself prepared for a defensive move, but it's going to be nothing more. As Zerd goes for the inside line, he knows that he needs to get it. Oh, Bird just turns into him a little bit. There was almost a big collision between the two, but somehow Zerd holds him off. But Bird's coming right back across the track, straight in front of Zerd, and that's, you could argue, that is a very aggressive defense.
Well, that was overtaken off the track. If he doesn't get hit with a penalty, I think he's had to give the position back, and he's just lost out. Flying Finn has flown between the two and has just taken 4th place. Well, those two are having a little issues. Obviously, Bird took the place back off Hazard off track, so he had to give the position back. However, Flying Finn obviously saw this, went, you know what, I'm coming through. Bird has spun it. He's just locked up going, nearly went into the back of Zerd there, and Bird is flipping the Bird off track.
Yeah, he's going to be frustrated with that one. Definitely, we expect a little bit more from Bird when he's trying him. He was doing everything he could to try and hold on to it. He's lost the car again. Those tyres are just cooked. Luckily, there's a runoff area there, so he's not run off into any gravel. They're not stuck off the track. Still can definitely go to the end of this race, but he's going to be very frustrated nonetheless. But we need to quickly go back up to the front of the pack as Rayner is catching up to the back of Copy, and he puts to go for another attempt down the home straight.
Yeah. Oh, it's slow on the DRS. I don't know if that was down to his lag. Never mind. Rayner is having some serious issues and needs to sort this out, or in all fairness, get out of this race, because he's causing problems for other drivers. They see him glitching all over the place. Who knows at what point he'll suddenly be non-ghosting and be in your face.
Yeah, especially if he, causes damage to another driver or something along those lines. But anyway, Sloppy is coming up to the back of Bulgzan. This is a battle that's going on realistically for P6 as Blackbird is leading it. Hypers is catching up to him. Bulgzan is not far behind him. Sloppy is chasing after Bulgzan as much as possible. Smeege is right there on the back of him. And that's it. After that, he gets his Martin G, who's down in 11th place. Astro Boy is down in 12th. And then Bird, who's decided it's pit time after the mistakes he made earlier. And he's gone onto the hard compound tyre. I don't think he can take the hards all the way to the end.
Well, I mean, you might as well try if you've got nothing else to do. If you're going to be down in 13th, you might as well take that risk. See if it works out for you. Will it work out? We'll find out in probably about 25 laps.
Yeah. So Hyper's catching him to the back of Blackbird now, sizing himself up, ready for this attack. Blackbird will not have DRS on Zerd, so he's just going to have to try his best to get a better exit than Hyper's. I mean, that in itself is a gargantuan task, if you like, because Hyper's now already gets a good exit. He's right on the back of Blackbird. DRS and an ERS have been fully switched over to the overtake mode. Here he is down the inside. Blackbird made it a little bit easier for him, except Blackbird's taking the outside line. Hypers comes across him, puts Blackbird just on the curb, just a touch, but that's all fair in love and racing, and now Hypers is up in a P6.
Yeah, I mean, that was relatively simple at the end of the day. Blackbird gave it a little fight, but is all for now. So at the end of the day, Hyper's just easily through, and then up to P6, and you can start to see why I put him third place, can't you?
Yeah, and I'm suddenly regretting my decision, to be honest. I think, like I said, if he'd been on the default setup, I would have said no, there's no way. It looks like he's not either that, or he's just really comfortable with the default setup. Let's be truthfully honest, but. I'll keep watching this little battle going on for P2. It's hard to really work out what's going on. Rayner is just teleporting everywhere, and it's so difficult to work out if Copy is actually under attack or not. And right now, that he was in his car for a split second there. They're still going around the track and still realistically P3. But I don't know, anything could change at the drop of a hat, and especially with his network rubber banding him like this, I think it's going to be getting worse and worse for him.
I think we had a race that might have been in this series or another series where Astro Boys had some serious lag. And they gave him some penalty points as a result, because obviously lagging all over the place, you need to sort it out. It's causing other drivers problems, and Rayner going round the outside. Has he made that move? That's the question I'm asking now. It's looking good because he hasn't bounced yet. I think Rayner has. Now he's got the one bar, but at the moment Rayner is P2.
Yep. Copy's lost that position. Realistically, will have to battle it to get it back. There is a lot of scrapping going on further down the field, though. Sloppy and Floppy's catching up to the back of Bulgzan. Martin G's catching up to the back of Smeege, and he needs to get a move on if he wants to get up this field. Hyper's just showing a different level of pace today, and I'll be honest, I think I may have jinxed Martin G here. When he sent me those images earlier showing his pace, it looked like it was dead set on him being race winner today, and as it stands, I mean, it's not over yet. We're only lap 8 out of 33. I don't want to rule him out, especially considering I have a lot of love and respect for this driver. I really want to see him up there, get a race win. But as it stands right now, it's not looking particularly great for him.
Yeah, I don't believe the hype. Down in 11th at the moment. He's only person really behind him is Astro Boys. Bird is 30-odd seconds behind us. Astros haven't had that earlier pit. Just not sure what's going wrong for not Hypers, for Martin G. Everything's going right for Hypers. Everything's going wrong for Martin G. So he's going to try and make a move here on Smeege. Which way is he going to go? He's waiting for Smeege to commit. Smeege is coming back across. Give him a little squeeze, a little bit of a nudge. Oh, no room left on the inside. I think we might see a retirement from Martin G in a second.
I don't think he'll retire. I think he's going to commit, but he's going to be right in the firing line here of Astro Boys. Astro Boys goes straight past him there. Martin G has left
Straight
the
up there.
session.
Didn't even retire, just straight up there. That just shows the frustration going through that man right now.
Yeah.
And Zerd is trying to catch up to Flying Finn. Rainer's got ahead of Copy and got a lead, whilst Flying Finn and Zerd are trying to make moves on Copy.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange. This whole race is strange. If you'd have asked me before this qualifying and Grand Prix started, I would have said that no, there's no way that Copy and Rain are going to be 2 and 3. And Nick Turn, I expected to be in the 2 and 3 mark. I wouldn't have said it would necessarily have been P1, given the fact of the drivers that are here. But that's what makes Formula 1 so exciting, is it can literally spice things up at the drop of a hat. You can have shock positions just coming out of nowhere, and and that's why we're in the situation we're in right now. The 2 McLarens on the podium step as it stands. Rainer sat in between the 2 of them.
Well, that was an easy one.
Yep.
Copy's got no response to it. Zerd's not close enough to make a move. Copy, there's just a sitting duck there. And now he's down to P4 and he's going to have to battle with Zerd. I suspect Flying Finn will just start pulling away. He does have those hard tyres on. They're now starting to come into their own. But they are rather well used hard tyres.
Yep, they are. Flying Finn is still looking pretty hot though. And the thing that I find it's fascinating is the drivers are starting on the hard compound tyres. All of them except 2 have really struggled today. They've just not been able to chain it together. It's like they just feel very uncomfortable on it. But Hypers and Flying Finn, they've somehow found how to make them work. And you can see Flying Finn's climbed up to P3. Let's have a look at the position changes. Obviously, Hypers is the biggest winner because he started dead last in 15th place and is now up into 6th. So 9 places gained for him. And it's tied then for the second biggest winner, which is Flying Finn and Blackbird. They both gained 6 places each. And Flying Finn is just really sort of showing a whole different level of pace.
Yeah, he's knowing what he needs to do. He didn't have the best of qualifying. Obviously, he backed out of his final fast lap on those mediums. That's what cost him. Really similar with Martin G, but Martin G's just not been able to put them together today, and Copy trying to make a move on Flying Finn, but that was never really going to happen. He's got Zerd on his back. Hypers is up onto the back of Zerd as well, so one mistake from any of these 2 can lose him a couple of positions. He's going to turn 4, nothing just yet.
So keep an eye. Oh, Zed getting on the grass there. Keep an eye for Hypers. Hypers is now closing up ever so slightly more on this battle as it progresses. And one thing that we've seen quite frequently is Zerd gets caught out by the driver behind him because Zerd knows he needs to pass soon. He needs to put a car behind between him and the driver chasing him so that he can then use that as defense and then take off. But when he does the attack, if you pay attention to when he goes for it, if it doesn't work out, he will almost guaranteed lose that place. We saw it earlier where Flying Finn managed to just slip down the inside of both of them and managed to gain 2 places. Hypers is also the sort of person who you would expect able to do the same thing as well, and I think we're just moments away from watching that unfold.
Well, let's see. Zerd is right on the back of Copy. He had a decent drive, but just lost a little bit coming off the apex. Copy with DRS, Zerd with DRS. Hyper's going the fastest of anyone. Is Zerd going to fancy a little dive on Copy here? He's got this covered, hasn't he? Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, I mean,
like fastest man on track.
Yeah, he is, and he's just living up to his name, really. He's hyper fast, and he's going for it all the way from beginning right the way to the end. The last to first is looking like a possibility for him. He's not actually that far away from the race leader, which is at Nickturn as it stands. 3.4 seconds is the gap between at Nickturn and Rainer, but it's only a second between Rainer and Flying Finn, who's just there in front of... you can actually see him actually just in front of him. So Hypers is in a position now where he needs to hurry up and make work of these so that he can fully utilise the hards, because he's running in dirty air right now. His brakes and his tyres are going to be getting pretty warm. His engine's going to be even hotter as well. And if he doesn't make quick work of them, then he'll just find himself making mistakes, locking up and sliding around. There you go. He knows it. That's why he just quickly stepped out of line just to cool his car down a little bit, get some clean air. And then it kind of reminds me, whenever we see drivers do that, it reminds me, you know, when you go swimming and you're like doing the... and you like, as you're swimming normally, you have to like quick lift your head up out of the water, take a quick breath, and then back under again. It always feels just like that, but for the car, like you can just see a gasp of air being sucked in for the car, like, and then off they go again.
You mean looking like a bit like a hippo, don't you? Just sort of stick your head up, get a bit of, and go down.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Oh.
Asteroids has retired from the session. What's happened there?
What is that? I'm trying to find that as well. Where is that? As Hypers goes past the Zerd. Is that a sector 3? So that's turn 10 onwards.
I think it's going to be 10-10, if I'm honest.
I think it's probably turn 11 actually. That bump on the left hand side throws them out a little bit.
Yeah.
See, I can't see anything just yet. Bird still hasn't passed him. Looking.
I don't
I
see
think it was.
anything.
That was turn 11. I think he must have just nudged the inside. Sent himself flying into the other side. I've done it several times. Very easy to do.
So, whilst we were checking that, like you say, Hypers did pass Zerd. Zerd is now down in P5 and already starting to slip away a bit. You can see now that the medium tyres are coming towards the end of their life. The hards are really starting to be the alpha tyre, and that's why you got the likes of Flying Fin and Hypers pushing their way up the field. You can see already Copy, Blackbird and Sloppy have all pitted, gone onto fresh hards, and I think we'll be seeing Race Leader come in this lap as well. Yeah, he is.
Yes, we are. Well, that's a strategy there from the WCR boys. Is that a wheel anymore?
That might have been Asteroids.
No, Asteroids retired at turn 11 and 12. So, where is Poppy? That's what I want to look at. Has he made an undercut on any of these guys? Where's he going to come out? Is he going to come out ahead, behind, in the middle? Comes around the final corner now, getting his power down. Where Smeege is definitely going to be taken. Zerd is there. He's ahead of Zerd. Only just, mind. Only just.
And I mean, it was Flying Fin that was a bit separating the two as it was, and Zerd, again, that 3-second time penalty does not help his cause. He's really going to be in for a world of pain right now.
Yeah, he's carrying down 7th. Obviously, got 3 drivers in front of him still to stop. And Martin G behind. To stop as well.
Oh, Smeege and Sloppy just had contact. There was a very big nudge. Massive nudge there from Sloppy on the return. Smeege gets rotated completely. Don't think there was any damage. No, there was not. But that, in fairness, that was a bit of touch and go between the two. Smeege ran wide into Sloppy initially. Sloppy came back towards the track and went into the side of Smeege, and Smeege gets rotated. I think it's either going to be penalties for both or no penalties for either.
Yeah, we'll see and see. Obviously, just remember, Martin G's not actually in the race anymore, is it?
No, he's not.
That's why he's so far down. Although he's not too slow, actually, for an AI. I think they've got their AI settings rather high, haven't they?
Yeah, I think it's 90, I think, is the AI, so it's really not that bad. You know, in terms of if he wanted to rejoin and go again, he absolutely could. He's in that position now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Bolzan has come into the pits, so front 2 have a nice 15 and a bit second lead over the rest. Can they make this stint last long enough that they can come out, still be in that top 5? Soon find out. So they're actually starting to pull away a little bit, and we might see a battle between Hypers and Flying Fin, as Hypers is bringing that gap down to just over a second right now. Can he get it under that 1 second window and get up onto the rear of the Flying Fin?
So remember that this is not for actual P1. Physically, there'll be P1 as it stands, but a nick turn is still net P1, and that realistically is what it's going to sit for a little while. Flying Fin was behind Copy earlier, then made a pass, got past him, and now he was up there to be chasing after Rainer. So realistically, this is a battle for P3, providing that they haven't lost pace to those that were behind before the pit stops. Copy was the main driver that I want to keep an eye on. As it stands, though, it's a sort of 17 seconds gap between Nick Turn and these boys. And then, a little bit further back for Copy. My quick maths is failing me. I think it was like 20, 21 seconds? 22. That's right on the limit, that is. I don't know if Flying Fin will actually be able to come out ahead of Copy.
Well, we'll find out in a bit, won't we?
Yep. So, Bulgzan, I was about to say he's closing up on Mine G, but Mine G's also not here still. So that's twice we've been debated now. That's not a good thing at all. Although Hypers, he is close. This is what we wanted to see. Flying Fin makes a little mistake there, gets onto the little bit of a run off there, I guess you'd call it. or the curb a bit more than he necessarily wanted to. Didn't get a penalty for it at least, so that's good news for him. But now look, this DRS section here is purely down to just set themselves up for that home straight push. Close the gap even more, get yourself to about 4.5 tenths of a second. Keep that, manage it all the way through these final few corners so that when you get to that final chicane, you absolutely gun it out of it and get the best run out of the corner. You're going to see Hypers perfect that right here. Look, Flying Fin goes wide, gets just a bit too on the curb, loses grip there, and that's where you can see. Here comes Hypers. Flying Fin stays over on the left-hand side, decides it's about time to get in the middle. Hypers has a decision to make. He goes down the inside. He's already ahead of him coming in towards turn 1. It gets a little bit unstable. Here comes Flying Fin round the outside. This is going to be a really tough battle between the two of them. Somehow Hypers is holding in, and now Flying Fin, who gets overtaken early. He's going round the outside again. This is turn 3, going in for a really solid move in towards turn 4, but he's going to have to take the outside. There's nowhere else to go here unless he can get the cutback on him. He's going for it, but this sets up Hypers better for the inside of the next corner, and Flying Fin's going again. This is going to be serious. There is contact between the two of them. Flying Fin just loses the back end a little bit. Hypers holds his nerve and manages to get race lead.
Wow. Absolutely incredible battling there. Just giving each other just enough space. And that's what you see from these best drivers you've got in the world. Is just they can put the other car on the limit and then get thrown onto the limit themselves. And just through those 4 corners, nearly 5 corners, they were just side by side. Respect to each of them for just giving the other driver just enough room, but at the same time not giving them enough room to do anything with it. Great driving there. And Hypers sits P1 on lap 17, or coming to the end of lap 17 of 33.
Absolutely, Zed. He's pulling up to the back of Copy. Copy is in trouble. Not really seeing the pace out of him, actually. I mean, he was pretty solid in qualifying, but I don't know if it's just the weight of the car or if his setup is just not accommodating for the actual race pace. He just isn't able to chuck in the lap times that he needs to, and that's why you've got Zerd now here on the back of him. Yes, Zerd has that 3-second time penalty, but we're still just over halfway done already, and look how much he's already on the back, and look at the pace. Zerd is just flying past him, and that's a done deal.
I was keeping my eyes on Flying Fin. He's just come out of the pit lane right behind Rayner. 1.2, 1.3 now, but he is on those mediums, and he's going to go for the undercut on Hypers. Hypers needs to come in, either go ridiculously quick on this lap or come in, because he should be about to lose a lap then to Flying Fin. Yeah,
and Hypers, like you say, he needs to come in. He can't think of going for the hards to the softs because it just doesn't work. The softs will not last very long at all here. We're talking sort of 8 laps at best, and that's realistically just too little. You can't push the hards far enough and be quick enough. So yeah, Hyper's more than likely going to be coming into the pits on this lap, and like you say, if he doesn't, he runs the risk of a nick turn being a nick turn or Flying Fin being faster.
Well, we'll find out. Anyturn obviously will take the race lead, but there's only one person we're really looking at here, and that is Flying Fin, who's on the rear of Rayner, although he's a little bit off track there. But what's really going to help Flying Fin now is he's going to get DRS on Rayner. That's going to help him stay ahead, get ahead of Hypers. And I think this is going to be an easy one. Where is Hypers?
He's on his way out
now.
Oh, where is it? There's Flying Fin, there's Hypers. Hypers has actually managed to keep himself together, but Flying Fin has warmer tyres, and this is going to be a situation now. As you can see, he's already onto the gearbox of Hypers. Hypers now has to defend like a champion, otherwise this is just going to be a walkover for Flying Fin. Hypers is a master at getting his tyres warmed up pretty quickly, but he needs to really hone those skills in now if he wants to hold back Flying Fin. I
think it's just a simple case to do most of this lap. He's just got to stay ahead on this DRS straight, and those tyres will be warm. I can only then see Hypers just starting to pull away over time. Rayner, don't forget, he was still there. He's about to drop out of DRS range of Flying Fin, so he can't even mount a challenge. But Hypers has a 0.6 second lead as we come into turn 10. And it's all up to Flying Fin. He has the slightly warmer tyres. That's the only thing going for him now. Other than that, ERS levels, very equal. And when I say very, I mean there's 2% between them, which is unheard of really at this stage.
We are about to have probably the most exciting ending to a Grand Prix that I have probably ever commentated in my life.
Lad.
At Nickton, he's only 3.3 seconds ahead of Hypers. Hypers has not set the fastest lap, whereas Flying Finn has. Bear in mind, though, obviously Hypers, that was his out lap, so he's now starting his first proper lap. Flying Finn is pretty close, actually, to the back of Hypers. I didn't expect him to hold it as well as he did. Yes, he had DRS, that's granted, but Hypers... he's really eaten into the time that Nickton has, and with Nickton on those hard compound tyres, he's going to have to find pace somewhere.
Yeah, Flying Finn had a little bit of lag coming off the final corner, hence why he's unable to catch up onto Hypers, but now he's still there. The gap is still 0.6, and he's still got a chance. If Hypers runs corners like that, as he just did on turn 8, he might end up with penalties. It could cost him more. A bit off line there as well. Hypers is showing he's human. And he's not immune to penalties as well, don't forget.
And speaking of that, Nickton's also the same sort of driver who's also able to get penalties. I mean, we saw a race of Flying Finns where he got obscene amounts of penalties, and it cost him a hell of a lot of places. So far, and I don't want to jinx it, but he hasn't got a single one. I genuinely, with the way he attacked that chicane there, I thought he was going to get one right there. But no, he's held it together, still chasing after Hypers, but he has to be careful. He is slowly but surely losing time to him. This DRS zone will help him, but Hypers setting a fastest lap like that does really sort of strike fear into every other driver, especially at Nickton.
I don't think it strikes fear into it. So I think it strikes a inevitability into it in turn. He knows Hypers is coming. It's only a matter of time before he's on his tail. I'll give him one more lap before he's close enough to make
hold that thought 1 second, because Blackbird has been overtaken by Bullock's, but Blackbird is trying to go around the outside all the way through turn 3, looking for a cutback opportunity now. It's not going to work out for him here, but he is going to try it down turn 4. There it is. There's the window being left wide open for him, and Blackbird is going to take it, slips down the inside, but Bullock's somehow carries the pace round and manages to regain the position. They are chopping and changing left, right and centre, but Bullock's is the one who comes out on top, and P7 is in the pocket for him, at least for now.
Yeah, as turn is getting more and more pressure from Hypers. 1.1 is the gap now. Section point for the one across the line is after the chicane, so he just needs to nail these. Smeej has also left the session. He's obviously not having a good day back there. And has he got it in DRS? I think he might, or he's on the edge. He has it. Hypers has it, so this is going to help him defend against Flying Finn. No extra flying lap from Hypers. So now he'll just close up onto it turn. And we'll see an overtake. If not, this time next lap, halfway through this one on the next DRS straight. I think it's a pretty simple one for him.
Yeah. I think realistically, Nickton's going to lose it on the home straight at the beginning of the next lap. I don't think that they're going to be passing, unless Nickton makes a mistake throughout this lap. I don't think any of these boys are going to be making a pass on at Nickton until that home straight. Now, here's the other thing to think about, is that Nickton will be in a position where he is going to be potentially losing 2 places in just 1 lap. The one thing that he might have going for him is he might be able to keep up the pace a little bit. Not looking likely with how fast these boys are going right now, and on the much faster tyre. Oh, Flying Finn almost lost it there, kept it together. Here comes Hypers already onto the back of him, decided, no, probably not worth diving right now. And he's just setting himself up for the home straight.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to lose out to Hypers on here. Will Flying Finn be able to take advantage of it? I don't think so. He's a little bit too far back at the moment, but he does have a couple of corners to use that extra route. Close up onto empty turn. And it's about 8/10 down on empty turn as we come off that corner. I think it's a little bit too much for Flying Finn. Hypers is through with relative ease. Where's Flying Finn? Oh, he might actually. He's going to go for it. Down the inside he goes, side by side, and not even side by side. Relatively simple. I thought he was too far back, but this grippier soft working wonders for Flying Finn. Up to P2 he goes, and that was so crucial for him to get that overtake to stay with Hypers. If he got stuck behind every turn, Hypers could have just pulled away and broken that 1 second window and would be out of sight. But Flying Finn able to keep on the tail of that Mercedes. So important for him.
Yeah, it really is. Flying Finn is doing well to hang in there. I thought, honestly, that once Hypers was free, I thought it was going to be just Hypers running away with this. Flying Finn is doing an exceptional job of keeping up with Hypers. DRS is really helping him, let's be honest, because Every time it comes to the home straight, right at the start of it, you can see the gap is just hovering around sort of 7 or 8 tenths distance. Bugs on getting a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners a little bit more than he necessarily should. And I want to keep an eye out for this home straight here. Flying Finn is closer than he has been for a little while, but now he doesn't have to worry about overtaking a Nicta, and he now just has to worry about trying to keep up with Hypers. The one thing that Flying Finn does have going for him, he actually gets better exits out of the final corner than Hypers does. It's just that Hypers is faster everywhere else on the track.
Yeah, I was going to say, it makes no difference if Hypers is the one setting the fastest lap. And quite easily sets the fastest lap again. Copy's just lost out the DRS to Zerd, so he's not going to be battling too hard for that one. I think our predictions might have been a bit wrong.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, I don't think... Oh, neither of us predicted that Hypers was going to get it back onto the race win again. I mean, we honestly thought that Martin G was going to just completely destroy this race. Like, he was going to absolutely just fly away and take the race win. But no, these boys here, they've really shown a whole level of pace, and Martin G just had a really rough start and couldn't get it going properly. Qualifying didn't help him either. I think once he got into that negative mindset, it just shut him down mentally, and that's it. But Flying Finn is giving us a show. He's keeping up with the back of Hypers. There's another scrap going on further down the field as Blackbird is on the back of Bulgzan in a crucial area. If he can keep it this gap all the way through this corner here, he might actually go for an overtake. He hasn't. He's decided, nope, home straight is the place to do it. If I get past him here, I'm only going to lose it again, and that's not what I want.
Yeah, I mean, Bolton's not driving the best race so far. Blackburn has had a few opportunities like that to come through. Whether or not that was a deliberate mistake for Bolton.
I think it was.
Conveniently deliberate mistake, yeah. Unfortunately, it's happened.
It looked too clean to be a mistake. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know when you see someone make a mistake, you can tell that they look out of shape, right? Bulgzan didn't look out of shape. He just looked like he moved over to let him through. It also doesn't look like he really factored in just how fast Blackbird was, because now he's lost the position and he can't get it back.
Yeah, I absolutely hate seeing people do tactics like that to let the other driver through so they can have the DRS. It's just dirty. I've spoken about it before, and I'll speak about it every single time after. It's dirty tactic. See, I was just about to look at third on Master G, but then just remember Master G's an AI.
But look at Flying Finn. He is still right there with Hypers. And you're in a sort of scenario where you think, let's check ERS levels. Somehow, Flying Finn has more ERS than Hypers. Now, we know normally, okay, you know, in these, if they were on par in terms of driving skill, you would have said, right, well, the driver in front is always going to be in trouble because the driver behind has DRS to use and slipstream to use and is able to really just manage that and force the other driver to chuck the ERS away. Hypers has done exactly that. It's down to 16% as we come towards the end of the home straight braking zone, and that is realistically where Flying Finn is just able to really capitalize on it. I don't think Hypers is going to win today.
Well, we're on 26-33. It's all still to play for. Boltzan is closing up to Blackbird. Is he going to go through this time? No, he's not. He had a terrible chicane. Took a little too much of that final part. And such didn't get the drive off that he wanted. He got the drive that he would have had Blackbird and P7 to boot. But for now, he's going to sit in P8. See what he can do from there.
Yeah. I mean, Bulgzan is still trying to catch up to recover his position he lost earlier on Blackbird. Blackbird is sitting pretty cozy up there in P7. I didn't see Blackbird get any penalties. I'm pretty sure I saw Bulgzan get a penalty, so he's going to try and recover that. Zerd has had his second now. That's 6 seconds of penalties. As it stands, he'll only lose one position, and that'll be to Copy. But overall, he's going to need to really fix that. I see that too often from Zerd, where he gets penalties and it ends up costing him as a result of it. But again, look at the front of the grid once more. Flying Finn has DRS and slipstream on the Hypers, has more than double, actually, of Hypers' ERS levels. And you can see, because Hypers has to turn it off a lot earlier, that's bringing Flying Finn right onto the back of him. And Hypers now is in a strange situation that he's not really been in WCR very often. That is having proximity errors that are red on his screen.
Well, yeah. But he's still got a half a second lead at the moment over Flying Finn. As Boltzan is going to make the move on Blackbird. Down the inside he goes. locks up, makes the corner. A little bit of nudging there on Blackbird. Is he going to give the place back? He says no. I think you might have to. He kind of just locked up and nudged Blackbird off track. But oh well, that's one. That's another one that's probably going to the stewards post race. But Bogdan up to P7 for now. Let's go back to the race lead.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Blackbird's race situation now. He's going to have to do the same things what Flying Finn did, at least for the meantime. Purely just hold on to Bulksan, just keep a good firm grip on him, don't let him run away with it, and just keep an eye on his ERS levels. The one thing I am seeing is that they're not actually that far off being the same. Blackbird was ahead of Bulksan for a while, didn't have DRS to defend with, and was still able to keep Bulksan at bay. And now he's in a position where he can just get onto the back of Bulksan and hold him to ransom, and there's going to be nothing he can do about it. And here comes Flying Finn again, catching up to the back of Hypers.
He's in mode 0, so he's not going to make a die just yet, but he's allowed to save a bit of ERS up by doing so. And again, he's still about half a double what Hypers had. And we're on 28 of 33, so 5 to go. Is he just saving everything up for a last chance dive?
It's interesting. I'm keeping a very firm eye on Hyper's ERS levels, and because he's doing the right thing, obviously carrying the momentum through. There is a penalty. Now I think they're equal. Bulksan and Blackbird both have 3 seconds of penalty, so now Blackbird can no longer just sit behind him. He has to start preparing for an overtake in the coming laps. We do still have 5 laps to go, 6 if you include the one that they're on right now. And as it stands, it's been a pretty solid race from Hypers.
Yeah, but he's been on a lot of pressure. He's just got to maintain that ERS level. The one thing going for Flying Finn, though, is that he needs to maintain his temperatures in tyres and engine. That's going to be his crucial part in this battle. Hypers has it easy, really, on that front. He has a nice clean air.
He does. He does. Flying Finn has DRS, though, and that's ultimately what it's going to come down to. But guys and girls in the chat, we are interested to hear what your predictions are going to be for the end of this race. If you think that Finn is going to win, do hashtag FinnWin in the chat. Or if you think Hype is going to win, do hashtag HypeWin in the chat. We'll see what your votes look like. We'll see what the majority is, and we will talk about it shortly in the coming laps.
Or if you've been drinking, hashtag the ink turn to win.
Yeah, fair play.
I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility. All these guys need to do is have a tangle. Particularly a last lap, last chance saloon, chance dive from a Flying Finn could ruin everything. Just starting to see Flying Finn starting to fall back a little bit off Hypers. Is he having to save up a bit of fuel, or is he just lags up and catches up a little bit?
I think he's having network issues or two as a result of it.
All race.
Something that went a little bit under the radar, I didn't notice it, I don't know if you noticed it, was Blackbird's managed to get past Bulksan again. I don't know if Bulksan just made a mistake or what, but somehow Blackbird is ahead. Bird himself has actually just set a fastest lap, so it's going to be taking away that point from those in the top 10, which is not a bad strategy, especially if you're thinking about your teammate who's currently set up there in P7. But you need to, actually, if you're Bird, you got to try and figure something out.
Top 10. Martin G and Smeech aren't in the race anymore. They're AI, so they will likely be discounted. So Bird is actually P10 when you think about it.
Yeah, that's true. So 2 points are looking to be on the cards for him. But this battle for P1 and 2, it's starting to fall away a little bit for Flying Finn.
Yeah, he's holding the gap at 0.7 at the moment. I just wonder if he's trying to save a bit of fuel. He's obviously not at the risk point where it starts showing yellow, but it's still not over yet. He kind of just needs to stay in his DRS range, use that to save ERS and fuel. But I mean, we are coming to the end of lap 30 or 33, so he's not got many chances left if he wants to take this race lead, or is he just resigned to the fact that he's getting P2?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he is going to resign in the fact that he's going to take P2. I think he knows just exactly what he has to do. He only has, I don't want to quote Eminem here, but he only has one shot, and that's one opportunity to really attack down the home straight. And it's going to have to be on lap 32 of 33. So not this lap that he's on right now, and not on the last lap. It needs to be on the lap just before the final lap if he wants to pull it off. Yeah, or at least on the start of 33, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let's just hope he's had mum's spaghetti and can use that extra Italian horsepower to catch up to Hypers. I don't know what I'm saying half the time. He has closed up a little bit though. Through that DRS on the home straight. Half a second is down the gap. Boltzan and Blackbird still going at it for 6th, for 7th and 8th. Boltzan switching to the outside actually. He's going to go around the outside. Is he going to make it? He's got the inside. He's through.
Oh.
And I think he got punted. So what's the guy got? Oh, he's inside.
Yeah, he's ghosted at the minute. They're still actually inside of each other, believe it or not. So we're waiting for them to actually separate for a split second so we can work out who is actually going to be staying ahead. They're just going to keep doing time trial at this rate. He almost slipped away there, still keeping it overall together.
This could end badly, couldn't it?
It can only end badly if he suddenly isn't ghosted anymore. Oh, there he is, right, he's back now. So now they're actually in their respective positions, but Boltzan is right on the back of him. He actually is in a position where he could potentially overtake, and we might see Blackbird return the favour we saw earlier that Boltzan did, where he just let him by just so he could attack again. Hopefully we don't see that, because we'd like to see hardcore racing all the way to the very end. But Blackbird, no, he does the right thing, holding it tight to the line. We need to go back up to the race leader. There was a very close moment between the two of them there. They were literally 1 and a bit tenths between them. And now we're on lap 32 and 33. Remember, at the end of this lap, this is where Flying Finn has to attack. He cannot wait any longer. So Flying Finn turning the wick up a little bit. Hypers is really struggling for ERS.
Yep, I'm flicked back though to Boltzan and Blackbird. Boltzan looking to take advantage once again. They're going to swap again. But Boltzan going to go around the outside, then in the inside. He's through for now. Are they going to glitch inside each other? No, they're not. And Boltzan up to P7 again.
And they both have equal penalties. So this is literally 4 race position. P7, P8 is where it sits right now with Boltzan 7th, Blackbird 8th. He has to commit. He has to push, and he has to do the same thing as what we saw earlier between Flying Finn and Hypers. You know, the Flying Finn has to push right now and attack coming through this final bit. So this is the crucial part of the race. If Flying Finn does not make it past Hypers here, the likelihood is he's not going to be doing it and he gets a terrible exit. This is not how he wanted to be doing this. He knows he has to go. Mode 4 has been initiated. Hypers will be doing the same thing, but he's running out of ERS rapidly. Slipstream is being fully utilized here by Flying Finn. This is going to be a charge all the way up towards turn 1. Hypers is just too far ahead. And if I'm right, it looks like Hypers will just keep hold of it and take the win all the way around. Fingers crossed for Flying Finn. He's got 1 more DRS zone to go. Yeah,
it's not all over yet. All it takes is those tyres to suddenly hit the cliff, and all of a sudden Hypers could be in the barrier. Touch wood, it doesn't happen, but it makes it interesting racing. Flying Finn is still there. It is not over yet. And it's 0.4 is the gap, and that's a bit of a mistake there from Flying Finn. All it could take even is just one wheel in the wrong place, and someone can pick up a penalty. That's the other thing. Hypers takes that turn 8 very aggressively. I'm surprised he hasn't picked up anything just yet. And that is pretty much it. Hypers is so far ahead at this point that it's going to be Hypers take the win. Flying Finn, you can't even take a dive from this far back. Not even Danny Rick would think about taking a dive from this far back.
No. He just doesn't have enough stamps to send it, and that's the problem. Hypers has done an exceptional job today. Came literally from last to first, and after a dominant display of racing, here he is going around the final corner to cross the line to take another victory here in World Championship Racing. He takes 25 points, doesn't take the fastest lap. Remember, that went to Bird, and that's going to be Flying Finn taking P2. And Nick Taylor will finish just about now. That's P3 for him. Rayner will come across the line shortly after as well, with a P4 on the table for him. And Zerd, who does have penalties, I think he's about to lose that position to Copy. Yes, he does. Copy gets up there into P5, so Zerd 6th. Bullocksan is just a bit too far back, but manages to defend nicely against Blackbird. So Bullocksan will cross the line and take 7th. Blackbird will take 8th. Sloppy McFloppy will be soon enough coming up to the line. He's going to be taking a solid 9th place. And while, yes, Smeege and Martin G will cross the line and go 10th and 11th, they are both AI cars. So Bird will be inheriting that P10. And as he has the fastest lap, he will also be taking a solid extra point to go with it. So a nice solid 2 points.
Yeah. Quite happy Enzo and Rayner gave us that part of predictions, right? That's really about it. I did predict Hypers to get on the podium, but I did not expect him to get on that top step. I knew he had pace, but that's next level.
So Easiest question of the night for you then. Normally it's the most important question, but this one, it is the most important, but it's also the easiest question ever. Who's your driver of the day?
It's got to go to Bird. He set an absolutely beautiful flying lap there, completely unobstructed, and definitely not my driver of the day.
No, I think you should definitely be clearing your mouth out and going again for that one. Who's your driver of the day?
Me. No, Hypers.
Yeah.
I think if Hypers didn't win, then Flying Fiend would have taken driver of the day. It was that type of race. It was whoever won got driver of the day.
Yeah.
Hypers would have deserved it, even if he came second or third. But yeah.
I mean, a last to first is something to shout about in itself in like open lobbies, for example. But we're talking about a chuffing league race here, and he's gone from last to first and nailed it. So a really, really solid points position for him, taking the race win. And here is the rundown for the final time. So Hypers with the win, with Flying Finn taking second, and Nick Turn finishing out the podium there in third place. Rayner takes fourth with Copy in fifth, with Zerd taking sixth after losing the position to Copy due to penalties. Bulgzan takes seventh with Blackbird in eighth. Sloppy Floppy takes ninth. Smeech takes 10th with the final. Doesn't take 10th because he is an AI car along with Martin G. Bird will inherit 10th and take the fastest lap point. And then the DNFs were Astro Boys, Lemon, and Return. And I guess technically Martin G and Smeech to go with it. But that is it from the World Championship Racing Series. It's been an absolute pleasure as always to commentate for you. I've been Ben Rwaggy McConnell, and this has been Jamie Amkasa Elder. Thank you so much for commentating with me, Jamie. You are an absolute lad. And we look forward to seeing you next week when we are back for the Monaco Grand Prix. Bye-bye.
How much?